Hello everyone, welcome to a new disc golf video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys some tips to improve your gap hitting in disc golf. If you live in an area like me where there are a lot of wooded courses and a lot of gaps to hit, the most frustrating thing is missing that initial gap off the tee and leaving yourself in a really bad scenario to try to scramble to get up and down. So in this video I'm going to be giving you some tips that have helped me hit more gaps in disc golf. So the first tip actually comes before you even think about throwing the disc, and that is, are you choosing the right disc to throw, and are you choosing the right shot type to throw the disc on? So for me, I tend to be able to hit gaps better with slower speed discs, putters, and mid-ranges. So I prefer to throw those off the tee. I can have more control with those shots, but there are scenarios where the hole is a longer hole and you need to throw a driver in order to get in position. And so that is when the shot selection comes into play. Are you more comfortable throwing a backhand or a forehand? In a lot of scenarios, the forehand tends to be better for gap hitting since you really don't have to take your eyes off the target. You can keep your eyes focused on the gap that you want to hit, while in the backhand, for a split second, your head is going to move away from the target when you reach back. And so some people have more trouble hitting gaps on a backhand than a forehand. So you just have to find what discs are you comfortable hitting gaps with and what shot types are you more comfortable throwing to get through the gap before you actually try to throw the shot. So make sure you choose the right disc and the right shot selection before you actually throw the shot. My second tip is focus on a specific line that you want to throw rather than hitting the gap in general. Whenever I focus on just hit the gap, I tend to either yank the shot or not throw it on the line that I want to throw it on. Sometimes I may get through the gap, but the flight isn't exactly what I'm looking for. And so if you pick a really specific line, maybe there's an aiming point in the background between the gap that you want to hit, and if you picture the line that you're wanting to throw before you actually throw it, I think you're going to have more success hitting a gap. If you're just worried about making it through the gap and you don't care where the disc goes after the fact, then it sometimes can work, but really you want to have a really specific goal in mind. So if you mess up, your mistakes are going to be small. If your only goal is to hit the gap and you miss the gap, then that is a huge mistake and you're going to be in a really tough spot trying to scramble to get up and down. But if you have a really specific aim point and a really tight line that you want to throw the disc on, and you miss your line by a little bit, then your line could still work out if you have a really specific shot selection. So if you're aiming at a really skinny tree between a gap with a forehand and you yank it a few feet to the right, then you may still get through the gap. It may hit a tree later on, but if your only goal is to get through the gap and you yank your forehand and you get through it, but it's on the complete wrong angle and on the complete wrong line, then you're going to be in an even worse spot opposed to if you pick a direct target through the gap that you're aiming at and you just miss your target a little bit, you're going to be in a better scenario. So you want to make sure to make your mistakes as small as possible. You don't want to make a huge mistake when you're trying to hit a gap. It's good to get through the gap, but it's also good to get through the gap and land in a spot to where you can actually have a look at the basket instead of just getting through the gap and having to scramble to get up and down. My last tip for hitting gaps is stay smooth and be confident. If you're not confident that you're going to hit a gap or hit the specific line that you're trying to go for, then the odds are that you're not going to hit the gap. You want to be confident that you're going to hit the gap, and you want to stay smooth. You really don't want to try to, change your form in any major way to try to hit a gap. You want to keep your form smooth. You throw the disc firm on the line that you want to do and be confident that you're going to hit the gap. And, some of the times you're going to hit it, some of the times you're still going to miss it. I still miss gaps today. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all miss the gap that we're going for. But if you really stay smooth and you don't try to change your form in ways that would negatively impact the throw and try to stay smooth, keep your form, proper and hit the gap, then you're going to have a lot more success. And in general, in the sport of disc golf, you just need to stay confident. If you're not confident in the shot you're about to throw, it's just not going to turn out well. Sometimes for me I'm just going to take a step off the tee pad and I'm just going to rethink my shot, and if I'm not confident in the shot, then I'm just going to change it and I'm going to go for something that I'm more confident in, because before you throw every shot, you want to be sure that you're confident in that shot, that you can execute that shot. And that goes for everything in disc golf, not just hitting gaps. That goes for putting, that goes for up shots, distance shots, everything. So make sure you stay confident, stay smooth, and hopefully these tips help you hit more gaps. I really think a lot of people just focus on getting through the gap and they don't care what happens after that. And that philosophy, it may work in some scenarios, but it's really not good long term. That's what I was talking about in that second tip. You really want to minimize your mistakes. So if you want to throw the disc on a really specific line and you miss, your mistake is going to be small. Rather, if you have a really big goal of just hitting the gap and you miss that, then you're going to be in a way worse scenario. I hope these tips were helpful for you. If you have any additional tips for other people, in the comment section down below, make sure to write a comment what has helped you hit more gaps, or if you would like to see videos on other topics in disc golf, then let me know in the comment section as well. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.